Throughout the years, there's been many watches that have been released that have reached legendary status. The Casio F-91W, Rolex Submariner, Vostok Komandirskie, AP Royal Oak, and many others. But when it comes down to influential watches, that list is a lot shorter. Without a doubt, one of the most influential watches is the Seiko Sport 5. And I know what you're thinking. How can one of Seiko's entry-level watches be that influential? Yes, the watch is affordable, around $230. It comes with great specs and an in-house movement. But none of those reasons are what make it so influential. It's the simple fact that no other watch has brought more people into the world of automatic watches than the 5 Sport. I'm sure many of you have had similar experiences that I've had with automatic watches where you get your first, it's a 5 Sport, duh, and you really start to bond and become fascinated with the automatic movement. You enjoy winding it, hearing the rotor spin, and never having to change the battery and get overcharged by the watch dude at the kiosk in the mall. From that first watch, you then get a second and maybe even a third, and before you know it, you have a small collection of Seiko 5 automatics. Doesn't always stop there. You start venturing out into other watch brands. And it all started because of that first Seiko 5 Sport. The other day I posted a video discussing what watches sold the most last year, and the number 2 watch that sold the most per volume was the Seiko 5 Sport. It's this popularity that has allowed Seiko to continue to release new variations, different dial colors, formats, and case shapes. All these options are really great, and I definitely won't admit just to how many Seiko 5s I've had throughout my watch journey, but it's been a lot. There have been 5 Sport models that I feel are really special and unique, and others that are a bit more of the same. I want to show you 5 of my favorite Seiko 5 Sports. But before we do, I'm super curious, what was your first automatic watch? I have a feeling I might know what it is, but we'll see. So go down in that comment box, type out your answer. I'll give you a second. Okay, time's up, pencils down. Now, let's check out those watches. The first 5 Sport we'll take a look at is not one that is talked about enough. The reference SRPG 61, which is also called cement. The gray-toned textured dial looks just like cement and concrete surfaces. There are not many dials available by any watch brand with this kind of look. It's just straight up awesome and provides just enough unique characteristics to stand out, but executed very well and not look out of place. The gray coin-edged rotating diver's bezel is also fitted with an aluminum insert that has the same textured cement surfaces. And the gray nylon NATO style strap ties it all together. The price is $225. The case size is 42.5 millimeters, the thickness is 13.4 millimeters, and the lug width is 22 millimeters. The crystal is hardlex, which is not as scratch resistant as sapphire, but much better than the mineral crystal. The movement is the automatic in-house Seiko 4R36. There is a day-date window at the 3 o'clock, crown at the 4 o'clock, and the lume-coated hands have an arrow for the minute and a syringe style for the hour, is the classic Seiko 5 Sport identity. I'm a sucker for a watch with a nice black dial, and moving on to the second 5 Sport, we have the SRPG 27, which is a really awesome watch. The price is $225, which is a great price for a watch at this level with an in-house automatic movement, solid water resistance, and very wearable dimensions. The case size is 39.4 millimeters, the thickness is 13.2, and the lug width is 20 millimeters. The crystal is hardlex, and the water resistance is 100 meters. The movement is also the Seiko 4R36. The classic military dial with 12-hour and 24-hour scales give the watch a functional appeal. Overall, the SRPG collection is a great field watch. As much of a fan as I was of the SKX series, I was pleased to see what Seiko decided to do with its predecessor. The SRPD 51 is a knockout watch, and the blue dial pairs perfectly with the blue aluminum ring on the unidirectional diver's bezel. It looks great in pictures and even better in person. The price is $220, and I really like how Seiko has set the dial with applied hour markers and applied logo. The previous XKX had painted ones, and that was one of the aspects of the watch I didn't really like. The dimensions of the SRPD51 is a little larger than the SRPG collection. The case size is 42.5 millimeters, the thickness is 13, and the lug width is 22 millimeters. The crystal is hardlex, water resistance is 100 meters, and the movement is the 4R36. My fourth favorite Seiko 5 is the SRPE 51K1. One of the biggest differences with this Seiko 5 Sport is the bezel, which is smooth, as opposed to the coin edge style found on many of the other options that are available. This difference allows the SRPE collection to lean more on the dress watch category, which is why it has been nicknamed the DressKX. What I really love about the watch is the gray anthracite color dial and how it blends perfectly with the white hour markers. The price is $220, the case size is 40 millimeters, thickness is 11.5, and the lug width is 20 millimeters. The crystal, of course, is Seiko's hardlex, water resistance is 100 meters, and equipped with the Seiko 4R36. Last but not least is the SNKK27 Speed Racer. This 5 Sport is the cheapest of the bunch, coming in at only $109. The colorful and stylish look of this watch gives its nickname, which comes from the heroic race car driver who stars in one of Japan's most famous anime series. The dial has 12 applied hour markers with a small numeral at each 5-minute interval. There is also a contrast colored arc sweeping the first 20 minutes that doesn't really serve as a real function other than a cool aesthetic. The hour hand is a small arrow, while the minute hand is a thin baton. The Speed Racer is equipped with the hardlex crystal, and the case's rounded lugs connect to a steel link bracelet. The watch is powered by the 7S26, which might be a familiar movement if you've ever owned the now retired SKX. Alright, that's all the time that I have. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.